Oh, it's time, baby. It's time for the defense armor shields reveal. It has been a long time in the works. Me and the team have been working on this for a long time. And props to the team. I had some ideas for like, okay, we need to do some stuff like this. We have had plenty of things about defenses and how to rework them. It came and went, and we'll look at it later. And then while I was over here working on 0.9 subclasses and all the different stuff we have to do to get things out here, the team polished off some crazy armor stuff, and then we've now slammed it together, and it looks amazing. It is going to elevate the quality of the game in so many ways. I'm going to give the whole breakdown. I'm literally going to be showing the master document on the screen. People be taking screenshots, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be super crazy. So it's going to be wild. And then Matthew finally makes it to a live stream. Matthew, you came to the perfect one. Let's go. Nobody's late. We're exactly on time. You know what I'm saying? And I got a cool little friend that's going to be on all the live streams now. My wife got me this little guy. He sits on my hydration. He's my hydration dragon. Maybe we call him Hydra, the hydration dragon, right? What should we name this little guy? You know what I'm saying? He's just he sits on the straw. He's got a little hole in his head, and then he sits on the straw. So, and he just kind of hangs out up here sometimes, and then we hydrate. Hydro's pretty cool. Hydrax. I was gonna call him DC, like DEECEE, DC. Hydro. I think Hydro's pretty cool. Pokey. Yeah, Almiri, he is sure pokey, because sometimes if I'm just like not paying attention, he just impales my lower lip with his freaking horns. So I'm very cautious now. So there's a call him penguin. No. He'd be very confused if I call him penguin. So I think Hydro is pretty cool. I think Hydro's pretty cool because the hydration checks, baby. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the wife got me that. Shout out to the dungeon wife. She just like randomly got me this out of nowhere. It was pretty sweet. And then what is all this? Tian Tori, a DC20 creator, gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, Tian Tori. You didn't have to do that. The hypes are Logan wanted to ask if the Artificer will be getting a flesh smith of sorts, a darker version of Artificer with flesh golems or an equivalent. I can't answer that question yet until we fully finish the Summoners class and subclass and the Artificer class and subclass. I don't see it fitting in the core Artificer, but expansions down the road, possibly, but that only design space limiter might be the Summoner, you know what I'm saying? A Fleshsmith sounds sick. Onyx Studios with the $100 super chat, bro. The hype is real. Armor rework. Let's go. Well, I mean, shoot. With that, Onyx, I mean, I guess we gotta do it. Right? We gotta do it. That's insane. And then Jeff Chambers with 10 Dungeon Coach gifted memberships. Let's go, dude. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Oh my, I haven't even started talking about it, and we're going crazy. Where are all these super chats? T-Dog, bro. Careful, my son stepped on that one and got him pretty good. Yeah, my sons have the slightly longer versions of that, and yeah, they're all broken. Their arms are broken, and those horns are dangerous. So, but position one next to a straw, and maybe it's not the best idea, but it's so adorable. Hydration, baby. Good job, Hydro. And then Jeff Bangle with a $50 super chat. Dude, y'all are crazy tonight already. I haven't even told you guys anything. Combining trades plus knowledge skills. To me, trade skill is something I can do, while knowledge is something I reference. Example, I have knowledge skills to identify pottery from various creatures, but I lack trade skills to make an actual clay pot. Yeah, no, for sure. I see that. And I think there's going to be, within trades is going to be the subsection of knowledge, right? And there's going to be a knowledge section within trades. So it's not going to be like I have, if you have pottery or whatever, the pottery skill is going to be literally you doing pottery, right? And then arcana, nature, history, occultism, all that stuff is going to work exactly how it is right now. Us moving it around is a logistical thing. It's a mechanical thing. It's a clarity thing, smoothness, all that kind of stuff. But I agree with you that, but if you have pottery skill, there's not a knowledge pottery, you know what I'm saying? The pottery would actually be pottery and making pottery, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I I think we're synced up as far as what the goals are. You know what I'm saying? So I got you there. And then, guys, what the heck? I'm going to have to come back to these super chats after I announce the armor system or something. You guys are on fire tonight. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Zegard, $20 super chat. Okay, I made it back from putting the 30-eyed penguin in his cage. I thought it wasn't a penguin. In other news, I am starting my second campaign for another group of players in London who have never played TTRPGs before. Crossfire and Cunning. Oh my gosh. I love that they've never played TTRPGs before, and DC20 is going to be their first soiree into the hobby. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm going to see if I can finish off the rest of these real quick, and then we'll get into it because we got 300 people here, and we are firing up the armor deal in just a second. Jekyll Geek, just wondering, what are kobolds like in DC20, an alignment neutral version of D&D kobolds? That I don't want to get all the way into that. They are mischievous. They like to serve. They like to support and help, and they are still sneaky. They have like their little animal skunk traps and all those other types of things. As far as alignment goes, chaotic neutral, if you wanted me to say that, but again, DC20 is not going to be doing pigeonholed alignments like that, but just to try and speak your language back to you. And then Anthony Diaz, I hear summoner class, necromancer subclass. Absolutely, that's 1,000% happening. I can already lock that one in for you, Anthony. Heck yeah. And then Ken, it's a Stradragon, a Strogan. If I didn't like the hydration check aspect, Strogan is actually pretty amazing. Well done there. And then Joe Tardriff on the first time ever super chat. Let's go. Saw your 5e minion and swarm video. Will DC20 have official rules on this? Big fan of using minions. Abso-freaking-lutely, dude. Yeah, swarms and things like that. We've already had stuff like that. I've ran at my own tables. Works super easy in DC20, even with action points. Literally a swarm. I've had a swarm be like, this is a swarm. It has 5 action points. Oh my gosh. But every 5 health they lose an action point. So, oh my gosh, swarms are just even better in DC20. So appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you. And then Tier Fang, DC20 playable dragon race like PF2's Battle Zoo. I know the creator of Battle Zoo, and I have talked to Steven Glicker. I have talked with him and his team and lots of different stuff. So Battle Zoo absolutely will be on DC20's horizon, and I think those types of things will be amazingly fun things to dive and delve and explore into once we finish the core foundation of the game. But heck yes. So there we go. Sean's playing an Oracle in his next campaign. I love the freaking Oracle, Scion Oracle. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this? Okay. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to give y'all the full-blown rundown. Checking on that. Okay, we're good. We're going to give you the full-blown update on the defense rework, the armor rework, shield rework, all of that, right? I'm super excited for this. If we were 1 week off, I might have pushed back the release date of DC20 just another few weeks to be able to get all of these changes into 0.9. But I really do. I don't want y'all wait any longer, and we're so close to the release date already right now. If y'all didn't know this already, the release date for 0.9 is next week. It's a week from yesterday, 6 days away from the release of 0.9. So stay tuned for that. And then what's wild though is I'm announcing the 0.9.5 right now before 0.9 is released. So right, girl scream, let's go. You absolutely can use these rules. These are official. As far as where we're at in the design process, this is not something that's like, oh, you know what? We don't know really. No, like this is sick. This is legit. The math backs it up so crazy much. I'm not going to show any of the charts and math and stuff, but you might be able to just see, just by seeing it, like, oh my gosh, wow. Players are going to love it. Dungeon Masters are going to love it. But I'm going to show the things on screen as well, right? I'm going to show the screens on. So it's Arden asked if there's going to be a document for this. I am going to show it on the screen, and you'll be able to like see it and screenshot and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm fine with that, just especially because it's not out yet, right? So you could make this change. But the other thing is implications of this. You might not be truly ready to do all of the changes because the amount of this is an overhaul of defense. it's pretty dang intuitive. So you're going to be able to look through the rest of the system and be like, oh, that's what this would be. That's what this would be. And you could probably intuitively make the changes. But a lot of the stuff of the ripple effects of where defense and all that type of stuff is, that will be sprinkled throughout ancestries and class features and other things like that. Right. So anyway, here we go. Double dub, my face at 6-day reveal. I see you, Double Dub. All right. So I'm going to pause on the super chats. If any super chats happen during this time, I will come back to them, of course. I am going to shift it into YouTube video mode because I do want to turn this into a YouTube video, and we're going to do a one-shot take. We're doing it right here, right now. So I am going to film aspects of this as if it's a video, but after each section I'm going to stop and I want to come back to the chat because I really want to see what you guys' thoughts are in this, and see what you guys think as far as defense and how what you're thinking. You can say the numbers 1 through 10 and see what y'all are thinking, kind of get a good pulse check there. You know what I'm saying? Brandon, Bardic Aggravation is already thrown out 11. That's cheating, but you can't say that. That's bias. I could say something terrible and you you're showing your hand. Easy. Wait. Ignoring chat from here. So I'm going to do the defenses and then I'll come back to the chat and we'll talk about it. I'm going to show armor. I'm going to come back to the chat and we'll talk about it. I'll show shields. Come to the chat and we'll talk about it. And then bada bing, bada boom. We'll see how much time we have left there because it's honestly going to be just so cool and exciting to talk about. And if people have specific questions about this whole rework, I will talk about that too, and all of that. So if you give me a 9.5, Kyle is going to give a 9.5. I see. Oh, I'm excited. I've really wanted to talk to you guys about this for a long time. So here we go. All right, let me pull up all the things I need to pull up to be able to see. See this here. So, all right, 0.9 issues. Okay, cool. Do I need to put check marks on these? Probably not. Okay, cool. Prevalent. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I have my little bullet points here, and then we'll go to the defenses. I can't press that button yet. 0.9, and then I should move this. We found a problem, and then there's the armor, and then there's examples, and then it solves issues, and then armor presentation. Okay, cool. So then I'll put that here. And we're going to talk about initiative too. And then we're going to do shields. There we go. So we have all the things. Shields. All right, cool. So, yeah, I'll start it up. Here we go. Ready? All right. Defenses rework for DC20 0.9.5. At the time of watching this video, 0.9 is already going to be out right now, which is the first update since the big old Kickstarter that happened. 0.9.5 is the mini update. 0.9 focuses on subclasses, 52 of them, might I add, and 0.9.5 is focusing on quality of life changes, mechanical changes, and really taking the game and continuing to push and elevate it. And if you like some of these changes, like what you saw way back in the day with the weapon changes we did, we really took weapons to the next level. We're about to take defense, armor, and shields to the next level as well. And there's so many cool things about it. I'm going to, in this video, break down what the issues were with the first ones, just in case you either liked them or thought there was issues with them. And then we're going to talk about what the new system actually is, of course. And then we're going to talk about armor and then shields. So lots of really awesome stuff to talk about. And 0.9.5 will be releasing a very short, much more short turnaround than the how long 0.9 took, because we have the PDF. It's already in existence now. We can now tweak and change it. We had to overhaul it from the very beginning. Now we're able to tweak and change it. And speaking of tweaks and changes, let's talk about defense. So if you were not familiar in DC20, how defense worked in 0.9 and previously, there was PD and MD, physical defense, mystical defense. The line for defenses was drawn based on damage types. But there were some issues that came with that we did not necessarily foresee. And as game designers and as we've been developing monsters and player character features and class features and other things, it just got a little clunky in some weird ways. The biggest thing to show is PD represents probably 90% of all the damage that you take is PD, which is bludgeoning, slashing, piercing, fire, lightning, all the elemental damage, all of it it's just a lot. 90% of attacks is probably that, especially at levels 1, 2, and 3, which is where many people have been playing the game. MD's almost a non-factor in any ways. So that's a little bit rough, right? They also had different formulas from a game design standpoint. PD's formula was agility, and then a whole bunch of extra stuff from like armor and things like that. And then mystical defense was your charisma and intelligence, but then that's it. And so now might wasn't present in the formula at all, but then might was health. So then that's fine. But you can see kind of the inherent imbalance there. And especially whenever PD is so heavily slanted towards 90+% of all attacks, right? And then also MD was very hard, like I kind of said a second ago, to do at early levels. So at levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, mystical damage is radiant, which most likely bad guys aren't dealing. Umbral, which, sure, cultists and necromancers and other things, but those are spellcasters, higher level spellcasters, also a certain theme of evil of a campaign. Some campaigns not have umbral damage, especially early on. Sonic damage, which is also weird, and I'll go ahead and say this side note as well in 0.9.5. Sonic damage is no longer mystical. It is moved over to element along with lightning, and because thunder damage in D&D is our sonic damage, so it's going to be moved over to there's another sneak peek for you guys, to elemental damage, so that's going to have a better home, and we're able to do that because of this defense rework, so I'll get back to that. And then there's psychic damage, which is yes, that's obviously it's in its own little weird thing, but psychic damage is also rare to see at low levels. So in DC20, you could absolutely dump and just absolutely tank your mystical defense and it not matter a lot, which I think is a problem. So people just like, okay, cool, agility, okay, cool, and then that's it, right? So it just get a little clunky, right? And I think overall it's just clunky to tie defenses to damage types. So we have changed that in the overhaul. So the new overhaul now, the overhaul for 0.9.5 is still a 2 defense system. I think there's a lot of great and amazing things with a 2 defense system that I could go rant about, but I'm going to stay focused. The 2 defenses are active defense and passive defense, AD and PD. Sounds great still. And there's still PD technically, you know what I'm saying? AD, active defense, PD, passive defense. So instead of separating based on the type of damage you take, you are going to be separating them based on how you're taking that damage. Are you seeing it coming and you're able to try and react and move and block it out of the way quickly? Use your smarts to calculate the projectile and be able to smartly move out of the way? Or is it passive defense where there's no way you're going to avoid the massive explosion? You take the damage from it, and then now it's going to be how strong are you? How gritty are you to be able to push through that damage that you definitely took, right? So this is now to show the should I show the actual I'll get to that one when we do armor. So there's 2 formulas now, and they are the same. Okay, the formulas are active defense is agility plus intelligence. Passive defense is might and charisma. The numbers are still the same. You still have your base formula. And in fact, I'll even go ahead and show the document right here. So 4 defenses, right? Your AD calculation, AD comes from agility and intelligence. How nimble are you? How quick are you to be able to anticipate danger based on the position you're currently in and all that kind of stuff. So your AD, your active defense, is 8, just like it is currently, plus your combat mastery, just like it is currently, and you just add your intelligence and agility together, and that represents your active defense, right? Now, next one is passive defense, which is the same, except it's mighty. You are getting hit by this fireball. You're in the dead middle of this fireball, and it's on you, right? You are adding your might and your charisma. Makes a lot of sense too of how tough are you in taking that damage. Yes, certain types of armors and other things like that go towards passive defense. If you are wearing a ton of armor and you're sitting in the middle of this thing, yeah, you're going to be better at just these wild swings. If a bandit comes up and throws a fan of knives and they go everywhere, you're probably not dodging that. You are ting, 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 ting. It doesn't matter because you're fine and you're tough and you push through it, right? So There's the two different defense formulas. Now, the really cool thing now about a lot of this is there's some really cool things that happen. And trust me, anyone who's hesitant about this, or if maybe you've already clicked off the video, well, I guess it's too late if that happened. But I was very hesitant to this idea too myself. I was very much like, oh no, I'm so used to DC20 how it currently is. This is too big of a change. I was very, very against it. And I have fallen more and more in love with it. And I'm going to try and speed run you through some of the thoughts that I've had in going through this, because this has been in the works for 5 months or 6 months or so. So here's a couple of things. Single target is your active defense. So it's very simple to know, like, okay, I have an arrow being shot at me. The sword attack is hitting me. And an AoE is your passive defense. So now it's coded based on single target or AoE. Right now, I would still say it's probably going to be about 70%, 65, 70% of the time it's going to be AD. So there still is a agility and intelligence. The agility and intelligence defense of active defense, AD, is going to be targeted more often. Single target attacks, arrows, fire bolts, other single target things. And then the AoE defense is going to be rarer, but it's still present. It's still active, and it's still able to be done early on in a campaign. You're going to be able to create a bandit that you can have. The bandit has a bow and arrow, a bandit has a sword, and that targets AD, active defense. And you also can give that bandit a fan of knives, some sort of AoE. The big old berserker warrior can do a whirlwind, swinging around wildly in a huge arc. That would target passive defense, because it's going to like hit across you. It's going to hit you in some way, and you're going to have to be able to push through that, or possibly dodge it, and however you want to describe it from a mechanics perspective, as far as hitting and missing goes, is up to you guys. But here's some examples that actually unlock really cool things that you're going to be able to do. A snake has you grappled. I'm also filming this video in the middle of a live stream, so I want to see if the chat is responsive as well, but you can comment down below what you think of these as well. So a snake has you grappled. It already won its grapple check. It has you wrapped up and grappled in its grasp, and it can make an attack on you, right? What would that attack target? If it's squeezing you to death, right? Now, sure, if it's like biting at you, that would be active defense, but it already has you. It's just squeezing you to death now. That snake can now target active defense, as far as snapping and biting at you, or passive defense by crushing you. It would be PD, or passive defense, might charisma. How tough are you to be able to push through that in a charisma grit type way, or how tough are you? Like, I'm just strong, I'm just a ball of muscle, right? So there's one example. Another one, a bow and arrow shot. AD, that one's simple. A fireball AoE. AoE hits the ground. That's PD. It's a big old area of effect. Sword attacks, you get the idea, right? It solves the issues of you can do a lot of stuff at low levels. You can't just tank one of the defensives and be like, haha, mystical defense, who cares? Or maybe mystical defense is wildly important in your campaign because you're running a psionic type of or a occultism type situation, and there's a ton of umbral and psychic damage, and you're screwed if you don't do that, which I don't think that's healthy for a game, to have the campaign setting be so dependent on builds. You know what I'm saying? And then here's a really cool thing. Abilities can target defense that make the most sense based on the narration of the ability. So a Psybolt, if you want to shoot a literal projectile, like a bolt of this like bluish energy that hits you and it's psychic damage, that can be active defense, because you can dodge that bolt. Oh gosh, you know what I'm saying? But if you wanted to have a psychic attack that literally, like, it's hitting you, it's a foregone conclusion. They're in your mind, boom, and they hit you. You can't dodge it. It doesn't matter if you're wearing whatever. You are hitting them. That's PD, and it can target PD in this really cool way, because it's just going to rock you. How tough are you whenever you get hit with this psychic damage, right? And then it's like, oh, but it's psychic damage, and how would you, there's going to be things that reduce psychic damage or psychic resistance and all these other things to be able to account for you having a tough mind. Like the Scion class or the Cyborn ancestries will have psychic resistance instead of like MDR type things in MD. So things in DC20 before that granted you MD, a lot of times they're weird because they're granting you MD to sonic damage, psychic damage, mystical, and umbral. Like, those don't even really pair together that well from a defense perspective, right? So now we don't have to do that. We can just give Scions psychic resistance, or you get the idea. So now another thing is barbarian defense and monk defense. So your savage defense and your Oh my God, your passive defense? No, what was the monks called? The defense. I forget what their defense is called. But Barbarians defense and Monks defense can now be a bit more nuanced and different. Barbarians defense get +2 to their PD, passive defense. Barbarians are just taking hits, and they're just getting hit with the might charisma based defense, and they're just shrugging it off absolutely fine. Monks, on the other hand, while unarmored, this whole unarmored defense type thing, monks, on the other hand, they get a bonus to their active defense because they are dodging nimbly, seeing things coming right out of the way, right? So absolutely love the nuance there. And the other thing that I want to make sure to address here before people in the comments are saying things is agility. Technically, if you think about it, this is a patient defense. Oh my gosh, that's what it was. Thank you. Technically, this could be seen as a nerf to agility, right? Because agility was physical defense from the first version of the game, and it's just so big and so strong and it's just so important. Well, now if it's more split and even and balanced, honestly, now technically agility is weaker now, but don't worry, there's a solution for that too that I'll also throw out in this video. Is agility is now going to be your initiative check. Your initiative check is going to be an actual check that's made. There's going to be a spot in your character sheet for an initiative check. Your initiative check is going to be your combat mastery, which is what it is right now, plus your agility, or combat mastery plus agility. That is going to be your formula for your initiative bonus. Is going to have to do with agility. So the quicker characters will have a higher chance to be able to beat that initiative. And I will also talk about initiative. There's an entire initiative rework as well in the works and stuff. So agility will actually be able to shine, and those quick players will be able to go quickly. But also in DC20, it's a team-based situation. So it's not like, I have high agility and I get to go first, right? You're kind of doing it for your team. So you're going to be able to win the initiative for your team, but you're still able to kind of win in that way, right? And so agility still matters, right? So there's some love given back to agility to very much balance things out. And my God, from a design standpoint, this is far more balanced and far more healthy for DC20 to be able to have this armor system. And trust me, it is going out in 0.9.5. It's going to be there. We're going to play test it, and I'm going to be listening to the community feedback. But there's been plenty of feedback from PD and MD and some weird clunkiness. I've seen it on the design aspect behind the scenes, and I've been playing with this new defense for a couple months now, and it does feel great. I do really like it. And I can't wait to see what you guys think about it as well. But we're going to now talk about armor. So I'm going to pause there. What do you guys think? When I first started talking about it, I'm not gonna lie, I saw a lot of 3s and 5s and all these type of stuff, and which is fine. Anyone who said 5s and 3s and all that kind of stuff, I feel you. I genuinely feel you. Trust me, I do. I was so skeptical for a long time on this. I was like, y'all crazy. No, that's so nope. But after developing it with it for 5-6 months now, playing with it, game mastering for it, creating monsters with it, so cool. I had a big antler deer situation. It would like attack creatures and stuff. It had a charge attack that just charged in like a 3-space line, like a thick line, and it was targeting PD. It was super cool. One of my player characters is being is a bearborn. He's a bearborn commander, and he's just a tank. It was so cool to see him rebuild this character and have some choices, which I haven't even got to. The armor rework, which is super cool, right? So here's the defense rework. I'm about to get into the armor rework. We're going to talk about that right now too. But yeah, so I want to see what some of y'all are thinking. How save testing will play out. How save testing. Another little side note here. I'm just spilling all the beans here. In 0.9.5 as well. You will have save mastery in every single save. You will no longer pick 2 saves. You're going to be able to have save mastery in all 4 saves. So you, at level 1, you will have save mastery in everything. Period. Right. That is huge for lots of reasons. I could talk about that, but I don't think that's going to be super interesting for y'all me to go into that. There's lots of reasons why. I was very much an advocate of the 2, and then eventually level 5, and eventually level 10. And it's just yeah, so that's a whole lot longer discussion, but I saw some people talking about saves. And then the if Barbarian defense is going to be different 9.5, the version 9 is already going to be obsolete. Everything's obsolete before. That's the other kind of weird thing is whenever I'm talking about 0.9.5 changes, of course, anything I'm changing in 0.9.5 is going to invalidate anything that comes in the game now or 0.9 or whatever. Because 0.9 focuses on there's not many mechanical changes in 0.9. You know what I'm saying? There's some, don't get me wrong there, but yeah. So yeah, and then Tierfang has a appropriate super chat. I didn't see the other super chats. I will get back to those, I promise. But it says, what decides which defense will be used for attack? The player or the GM? Oh god, no, the ability will say it, just like before. Just like before when it said targets PD or MD, the ability of the actual ability will read PD or AD. You know what I'm saying? Will players have features that use PD instead of AD, for example? That part aspect is cool. There could be some features that you can choose, like whenever you make the attack, you can choose. That's ultimately very rare, and I can't think off the top of my head of any time where that's happened. But most of the time, it will say AD. A good example is what is it? Heroic Leap. Heroic Leap is a leap and attacks a target. That's AD, active defense. You're hitting that target. But then there's a technique enhancement, a stamina point enhancement that lets you be able to target an area, and you just smash on the ground, which changes the targeting from AD to PD. Done, right? Yeah, so there we go. There's that. As far as homebrewing, though, it becomes very easy to homebrew new abilities because it's just AoE versus single target. So simple, right? Cool. And then it should target PD, and the DM should change their tables. Less confused. Cybolt letting you pick between. I like it aside from things like Cybolt letting you pick between. Cybolt doesn't let you pick between. Cybolt is AD because you can dodge the bolt. If it's like a projectile thing, it's going to be AD. And then it targets. Oh, I see what you're saying. Certain abilities will target PD if it's just going to straight up hit you. You know what I'm saying? But as with anything, a game master, of course, I fully endorse game masters being like, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to switch it, whatever. And then, cool. So there's that. Okay. You absolutely do need saving throws. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's a very much longer discussion. And I want to talk about armor. Okay. So let's talk about armor. Okay. Now, and then, oh my gosh, Thomas Marshall, bro, gifted 50 Dungeon Coach memberships. What? Your icon is that you? Is the guy in the green suit, and you're making everybody's names green? Appreciate you, Thomas. Let's freaking go. Wow, holy cow, this is crazy. And I still have super chats to go back and read, and I will read those, I promise. But I want to talk about the armor system now too. So let's lock in the armor system. My third screen right here is just green name. That's crazy, dude. Thank you, Thomas. Wow, that's awesome. Making it rain. All right, so I am going to. Oh my gosh! And then Brandon comes in and matches with 50 memberships from Bardic Aggravation. Oh my gosh! And then Double Dub. What is happening? Three people just gifted 50 members. That's 150 memberships in the span of 2 minutes. Wow, guys. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Bardic Aggravation. Well, Brandon from Bardic Aggravation and Double Dub. Oh my gosh, y'all. I like the whole chat. The whole chat's just green. There is a new character sheet. There's a new character sheet for 0.9, and there's going to be a new character sheet for 0.9.5, which I actually need to make a note of that real quick right now. 0.9.5 character sheet fixes. Right, make a little note of that. I don't want to forget that. So yeah, dang guys, thank you guys. Wow, and wow. That's insane. Holy moly is right. Okay, so let me try and focus up to talk about armor and shields. Maybe those super chats are coming from the y'all like the new rules. And I also hope you can see, regardless of if you like the rule or not. Regardless of that, I hope you see that we are trying to continue to push DC20 and make it the healthiest game possible. So if you don't like it, please try it out and please see how it's going. Please feel out and also stay tuned for this armor and shields thing because it is a big picture, right? But I do hope this shows that we're not just settling in by, well, these are the rules. Let's finish the game now. All right, let's get it out. Because by all means, if we were other companies that just cared about getting this out there to sell the next product and start the next Kickstarter to make the next batch of money and if that was the way we worked, we would not be doing things like this. PD and MD would ship and be the final thing in the game because it's what it is now. And let's just finish this thing out. And let's just, you know what I'm saying? So we are absolutely looking through all the cracks, you know what I'm saying? Seeing what's works, see what doesn't work, see the community feedback, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So there we go. So, wow, the names are still just flowing in. That's insane. Okay, so now we have like 500 people here. Let's go ahead and start with the armor. Okay, we're talking about armors and shields. I don't know what I said at the end of the last one as far as the for the video context, but oh well, here we go. So this is now going to be armor. Let me fix up the armor. It's right here. And we'll go back into YouTube video mode. Here we go. So after this, I'm going to come back. So I'm going to talk about armor. I'm going to come back to chat, see what you guys think, right? So, all right, here we go. Armor, where are we at? Here it is, armor. This goes hand in hand with the defense rework. If we're reworking defense, here comes armor. The design goals here is to be able to have the similar type of feel that the weapon system rework did. I don't just want to give a bunch of weapons and then they do things and then that's it. And I want to be able to give customization, but I also want to be able to give simple options for players to choose from. So what you're about to see right here are simple options for players to choose from. You have heavy armor, light armor. Here's some options. But then there's a custom system with some points to be able to spin and kind of move stuff around, right? So let's go. Armor. There are two types of armor: light armor, heavy armor. This is literally the excerpt from the master document currently. So light armor is it's super simple. It's light armor and it's not metal. And heavy armor is metal, and you also gain this little bonus of if you make an unarmed strike, you deal 1 more damage with like an unarmed strike. Is wearing heavy armor and stuff like that. So there's that. But now that's nothing that's changed. So to talk about the actual changes in 0.9.5, here we go. I'm going to actually be very careful how much I scroll here to reveal. Here is armor. So light armor is I won't talk about the custom system just yet, but here's light armor. You have a table. You have a defensive version, a deflecting version, and a fortified version. You have AD and PD, like we just talked about, active defense, dodging things, right? Passive defense. I got hit, but how hard is it? How bad is it, right? How sturdy am I? How fortified am I? And here's your chart. You have 1 and 1. Couldn't be more simple. You have 2 and 0, and 0 and 2. Oh my God. There's your 3 options for the brand new newbie. Cool. Done. Call it a day. You get no PDR. Guess what heavy armor has? Speed, agility checks aren't affected. Guess what's going to happen to heavy armor? See what I'm saying? Right? Simple. Super freaking simple. And there's still a custom system that we're going to get to in just a second. Now, heavy armor, and I'll even give a little bit of a hint towards the custom system right now. Light armor and heavy armor are going to be weighted the same. When I say weighted, I mean like mechanically. They're going to be mechanically as viable as the other. Gaining access to heavy armor does not mean now you just have straight up better armor. When the game first came out, that's how that was, but I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. So heavy armor and light armor are going to be power-wise balanced compared to each other. Heavy armor is going to have more options to let you be able to get even tankier, but you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. So you'll see what I mean by that in a second. So this is your light armor, and now here is your heavy armor chart. It's still simple, y'all. You have 4 different types of heavy armor. Again, this is the baseline, and we will be able to add and customize to make a whole bunch of options. But you have defensive, which is 1 and 1, but you gain PDR. Now, it says half here because if you also haven't heard the update, PDR is no longer PDR1, PDR2, PDR3, and you reduce that amount of damage. PDR Absolutely all PDR, EDR, MD, all the types of damage reduction, it is half damage. So if you have PDR, that's physical damage reduction, any physical damage you take from a hit is cut in half. If you have a heavy hit, it is bypassed and you don't have it anymore, right? So that's still true. PDR just gets bypassed if you beat it by 5. That's it. It's like a baby version of resistance, right? So it's half, which first of all is it's a little buff to PDR, showing the PDR a little bit of love. It takes half damage. Okay, right? So that's where the half comes in here. Now, that's a lot. You just got 1 and half, but you lose -1 speed. And you lose and you gain disadvantage on all agility checks. Crazy, right? Now, hear me out though on this. This is this version. You'll see what this, it'll all click once you see the custom aspect of this. Or we have the same versions as these three. So these three versions right here are right here. You have 1 and 1, you have a 2, 0, you have a 0, 2. It's the same as these ones, but you add this little bundle here of PDR and the disadvantages that come along with it, right? Or you could do this. You can start to see some of the customization options. Or instead of getting half, you could do 2 and 2. Dang, you're still getting super tanky and you still have the negatives, but you got 2 and 2 going on. That's super cool, right? Now, there's all of that. Now, this is the custom system. And here comes the screenshots, right? That's fine. Light armor properties. Every armor gets 2 points. Light armor gets 2 points. Heavy armor gets 2 points. Light armor gets 2 points. You can spend 1 and 1, just like you saw in this example here, 1 and 1, or you can spend 2 and 0, and you saw 2 and 0. So you get 2 points, and here's what you can spend it on. Whoop, right there. AD, PD, or EDR, which is elemental damage reduction. Yes, that's right. You can get insulation on your light armor, right? You can't get PD, that's too bulky, too big, but you can get EDR and have it lined with this, insulation type materials, whatever you want to call it, and you gain elemental damage reduction. Now, if you did this though, it would cost both of your 2 points. You would gain 0 AD, 0 PD, and you can gain EDR. Ooh, okay, it's your choice, right? So freaking cool, right? And then heavy armor now. Heavy armor still gets 2 points, and this is the exact same. This is the exact same. Both of these are the exact same, right? Now, EDR still exact same. Heavy armor only has 2 differences though. Still gets 2 points, but you can buy PDR, which obviously PDR is better than EDR. You get physical damage taken a lot, bludgeoning, slashing, piercing. You get the idea. But very much better for this. So they gain access to that. But you have the option. When making this system, I had to have this be an option because honestly, move speed, that's very important. So if people want to sacrifice it, you totally can. You don't have to. And you can find somewhere else in your build, somewhere else to get +1 speed. I mean, you can do that to kind of offset this if you want. But you can technically gain 1 point, right? To be able to reduce your speed by 1, but now you have 3 points. So baseline heavy armor is 2 points, and you can spend it right here. You take bulky, there you go, you got 3. Rigid, you have disadvantage agility checks, you can take that, now you have 4. And now you see how this chart was made. This chart was literally made using the custom system I just talked about, right? So you can do 2. So how the points would work is you did 1 point there, 2 points there, 2 points there, and that's how that was possible to be able to get those 4 points because you took on both of the disadvantages. You see what I'm saying? So there's armor. Oh, let's go. What do we think, people? Logan, there's never been medium armor in the history of DC20. Even since the initial start of DC20, I cut out medium armor because it's a long story, but I just absolutely see no place for medium armor in the game, especially in DC20 where it's so mirrored and halved, right? So, a lot of numbers, I see a 42. I mean, if I had to give an average, it's like a 9.5 average, honestly. I do see some 5s and 6s, which I totally understand, and I'd say feel it out. And I would love to hear why. In fact, I want to see this. Anyone that says like a 5 or so, tell me why. I genuinely want to know. I'm not trying to have a debate or anything like that, but I genuinely just want insight, like what makes it like, man, if it's because your current character build is kind of jacked up, absolutely. My player that's the Bearborn was grumbly mumbly, absolutely. You're gonna see his character, if you did a 1-to-1 conversion, it was terrible, because you cannot, I will say this, you cannot just convert your 0.9 character into a 9.5. You're going to have to be like, okay, hey, let's rebuild it, right? So please, Game Masters, if y'all are level 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you are, let them rebuild their character whenever this happens, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so far I haven't seen... So losing 1 speed for heavy armor is a heavy nerf for people that try to tank, because most things will be able to outspeed them. So in general, Broken War, what I'd say to that is you don't have to have that. You don't have to gain that. That's, I think, a very nice thing about the system is you don't have to take the -1. You can just not have it. And if it's your call, do you think 1 PD or 1 AD is worth 1 speed? If you do, then take it. If you don't, then don't. You know what I'm saying? Myself personally, gosh, it really depends. And I think that's honestly a good sign for the system, is it's not a given choice for me. Sometimes I would keep the speed, sometimes I wouldn't. But I also think that the DC20 is customizable enough and modular enough to be able to pick up a 1+1 speed somewhere to even offset that. You know what I'm saying? And then, and I see another person that's been eponymous as speed penalties too much. And my overall answer is don't take it. It's a choice. Heavy armor and light armor are built to be the same, just like we have in the 0.8 update. They are more balanced in that way, and it just has choice. Now, I would say I would be surprised if that 1 speed was actually more viable if you're trying to be a tank. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be a tank, then that's how that would go, right? And then what else we got? Negatives, difference. I'm trying to look for people that said low, but nobody's saying low. Almost don't seem to be a point difference between light and heavy. Heavy armor just taking rigid and bulky. Yeah, so the heavy armor has the option to take rigid or bulky, and they also have the ability to get PD. So that is a very big difference of being able to get PD, which is a big separation factor. Because another armor that you could make, let me go back to here for a second. Another armor you could make is, in fact, I'll do this right here. You could make this armor. You could be like, okay, I'm going to make, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I'm making that armor. That's my heavy armor. You could do that. Absolutely. You could easily do that. And if you wanted to, because that's 2 points. This costs 2 points. PDR half. Done. You don't gain any bonuses here. You don't gain negatives here. And if you wanted to, if you don't think the speed's good, then you can do this. What the? It's all locked up on me. What? Weird. I can't type in this box. Okay, so disadvantage. Let me turn the caps up. Disadvantage. And I could do like, okay, cool. And then I'm active defense. Bam. That's a dang good armor right there, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? That's a great armor. You got AD. You got half. That's great. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then there's okay, cool. Cool. All right. So 6. Why separate heavy and light if both have the same stats? They can't have the same stats. They cannot have the same stats. PDR being a huge, just even that alone is big, and the option of being able to reduce to be able to gain more, right? Because my God, is this a pretty good armor right here? Like, whoo, all right, yeah. I honestly see what I see, how I've seen this going is a tank will build a tank, they'll build it out, they'll see what their armor is, and whichever of their 2 is lowest, they'll probably put the 2 points in there, right? Or if they're pretty even, then they'll pick this one. So I genuinely think it's going to be a pretty awesome spread, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me delete this so I don't mess up the master document. That would be bad. Okay, cool. All right, sick. So now let's talk about shields. And then that's gonna be the whole shebang here. Yeah, shields are pretty quick too. So okay, hydration. Here's the shields. Same concept. Light shields, heavy shields. Point buy system. We can spend and buy points to be able to increase AD, PD, or gain some special little features. So here we go. Light and heavy shields, all pretty simple. That's all pretty standard stuff. There's a couple of things here about wielding 2 shields, and there's some weird gameplay things where people were having 2 shields, and you can read it right here for some of those changes. But this video is already long enough about what the big picture is. So here we go. Shield properties. And here's the actual little spreadsheet right here. Light shields, 1 AD, 1 PD, 1 and 1. Or you get a property, and the little spoiler alert for the custom system here is the custom system would be everything's worth 1 point. So this is worth 1 point, that's worth 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. Everything on this screen is worth 1 point, as you can see here. So shields get 2 points. You have 1 point here, 1 point there. 1 point for the toss property to let you be able to throw your shield. No, it does not automatically come back to you magically. That's a special magic weapon or a spell blade, and you get the idea. And then 1 and 1, Captain America's I see you. Or 1 and 1 right here. Super. Heavy shields. Oh, you can take on negative aspects. You can take on negative things to be able to get more points, just like with heavy armor. Very simple to teach a new person because they're the same format of a system. Imagine what a brand new player could absolutely customize a weapon, a shield, and armor, and not be that confused, I'd say. And then here's your all your properties, right? And let me just go ahead and show you the custom list here. Light shields, you have AD and PD, but you can only increase it by 1. You cannot increase it by 2. But if you look over here on heavy shields, you can take the property twice on heavy shields. You can do 2 and 2. You get the idea, right? Mounted aspect to be able to, you can see all the stuff here. And also heavy shields can grant EDR and PDR, and you gain that access there as well, which I think is super awesome. And if you're building a true tank, you really could be like, all right, let's see what I can get for my build. Let's see what I can get for my class features. Let's see what I get for my subclass or my really a character creation to be ancestry traits and class features. And when it comes to armor, it's like, all right, I'm gonna get PD on my armor and EDR on my shield, and I just love the customization of what this is. And you can get your defenses right there. And if you really want to double it down, you are a tank. And if you want to be a tank and be super durable and like truly max out your tanking, yes, you are going to have to pay a speed and agility penalty. And I think that's okay, mainly because it's a choice. You don't have to. You can still tank without it, but you will have 1 less PD or 1 less AD. Or you get the idea, but the big picture, you absolutely can make a big old chunky tank, and you're slow and you're big and lumbery. That's a play style. That's really cool. And if you can figure out the mobility and you're okay with it and you're able to play around it, maybe spend 1 more action point. Maybe that's the sacrifice. Maybe you spend 1 more action point to move a bit more. To offset some of that as well. There's so many options and layers there. I absolutely love it. So I want to see if you love it. What do you think? All that kind of stuff. I am filming this in live streams. I do live streams every single Tuesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. I want to see what you guys think about this. A lot of this comes from feedback from the community, things that we find and see. I also hope you can respect if you like or don't like the ideas. I want to know either way. And I hope you can, even if you don't like the ideas I just presented, I hope you can see that we are trying to do what's best for the game and really try and push DC20 forward. We're not settling and setting our ways about, that's good. PD and MD is good enough. Let's keep on moving, right? We are truly trying to evaluate everything as we move forward with this. I'm very excited for 0.9.5. There's a lot of changes, and I think they are all for the better, but I really want to see what you guys think too. Comment below, let me know. Stay crab, thing us in the box. Peace. So there's that, y'all. There's that. So shields, there's shields. There's everything. Y'all know the stuff now, right? Outside the box, let's go. I see you, Big Ben McDeuce. That's funny. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what people think of this and see how it goes. I think it's going to be, I hope it grows on you. For any of the people that aren't already saying 7s or higher, I hope it grows on you like it did with me. And I will tell you myself, I was very hesitant to this for a long time before I jumped back on or before I was like, you know what? I absolutely see it. So we'll see. I'd say play with it. Please play with it. And if the community hates it or it ends up being terrible, absolutely, I'm gonna be constantly listening to the pulse check. I listen to you guys. I hope y'all can see and genuinely feel that. But I really think it's gonna be crazy. So, yeah. So that some kind of revenge. Wait, going to be testing. Oh, yeah. The 0.9.5 will probably come out. My goal is for it to come out within 2 months. I'm talking a quick turnaround, guys. 0.9.5, another little insight here. This is the type of stuff you'll learn here in these live streams. 0.9.5 is almost done. Isn't that crazy? 0.9.5, we probably finish it on Thursday, right? Like we've been doing sprints, me and the team. We've been meeting every day. Right? And 0.9.5 is almost done. Dare I say 0.9.5 will be mechanically done before 0.9 comes out. And that's how fast we're moving, right? So what that will look like, 0.9 comes out, I send it to you guys, I send it out, boom, bang, boom, done. And then like, I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, Mark and Sky, here's the next one. And then tick, right? So 0.9 was a gargantuan, and I guess I understand why people think that because 0.9 took so long, the next one's gonna take so long. But I hope y'all see how much we're really cranking it behind the scenes, and then maybe in retrospect be like, man, maybe it does take a long time to make 52 subclasses, and that's why it took so long. So yeah. So anyway, there's that. Now I got to get caught up on super chats because we are already done with the stream. It's already 9:30, but I want to make sure that I don't like leave all these super chats hanging. So I'm gonna fly through these super chats genuinely. I don't want to leave. I feel so bad just leaving them, but I'm gonna see what's going on, and then I want to make sure I get caught up there. But I'm gonna go in overtime mode. So let's see. Lunar. Coach, you old so-and-so. Thank you. This is badass. Let's go, Lunar. I love it. Path of Most Resistance, 10 out of 10. Love how the stats are more balanced. It adds elegant nuance to defense. It's intuitive. Kudos to you and the team. Thank you. Rexroom question. I understand it mechanically. How does charisma help you survive an explosion? I get in AD, but charisma is grit points. Rexroom. Charisma is your force of will. It's your grit. It's how tough are you, right? You stub your toe. Are you? You know what I'm saying? Or are you like, that hurts, let's go, keep pushing forward? That's charisma. You know what I'm saying? Might is your literal muscles and body. Like you didn't even stub your toe, you kicked through the branch and it just broke and your toe didn't even get affected, right? So absolutely charisma is your grit of toughness, right? Mental fortitude. And then Zaggard says, it's funny, Zaggard, I saw your 5. I literally saw your 5. Started at a 5, then went to a 6, then shot to a 9 out of 10. So I feel you on that, Zaggard, because I went through the same journey there, right? Wheeler, in solidarity with the community, I decided to give penguins a chance. Turns out they're pretty delicious. Oh my gosh. No, Wheeler. No, you found the sadistic penguin joke still snuck its way in here. Joe M. Bye. Can't stay, just saying hi. Can't wait for 0.9. Let's go. Hope my friends get comfortable in DC20 to run a one shot. Let's go. Have those players turn into DMs. I see it. I see you, Joe. It is fun to play. I had that moment too when I'm doing so terrible at doing the overtime going fast. One of my players ran for me. It was so fun to play, and I was like, this is cool. It is nice as the creator to be able to flip it around and be like, this is fun to play. I guess that was a good I'm glad it felt that way. Pocky, super excited to see the defense rework. Curious if there's anything for saving throws at the end. There are more things to let people pass than are able to fail. Also, it's Pakisukibe. Thank you for the pronunciation. Let's go. Are there things let people? There are more things to let people pass than there are to make one fail. I don't know what you mean by that. Saving throws. So the saving throws, everybody will have mastery in saving throws at level 1. That part's going to be it's going to speed up character creation in that aspect as well. There's lots of math reasons, especially scaling wise, for why that's the case. But that is a change for saving throws. My face at the 6th day. Okay, there we go. Now we're caught up with that one. Let me come back here. So they're Tearfang, aside from the Cyber, okay, Steel Manning. Is it more important for a game to be DM friendly, easy to run, or for the game to appeal to players? Which system, aside from DC20, is most successful for GMs? I've never done anything. Which game system is the most successful? I don't see. I can't answer Steel Manning. I can't answer that question because I have only ran DC20. I've ran DC20. I've ran oh my gosh, what's Jazza? I forgot that game. Oh my gosh. I helped develop it. Jazza. Cogent. There we go. Cogent. I've ran that. And I was like a shadow developer on that as well, which is a little side note there. I talked about that before. But as far as my overall thoughts on that, I think it's a mix. It has to be a balance of both. I don't want game masters to have to jump through hoops. And this might sound like a cop-out, but I genuinely think we've done it to where it is user-friendly for player characters, and it is easy for game masters to run, and it's also customizable enough for the veterans to be accounted for, but intuitive enough for the new players to be able to be fine with. So I'm not trying to like brag on the system, but I really think we've done that. Dustbreaker, new character sheet. Yeah, I got you on that one. Jeremy, making agility add to initiative will make agility a required stat. Make it run off of prime stat. Awareness is important for all builds. So Jeremy, I can't answer that question until we talk about the initiative rework, which maybe we talk about the initiative rework next week. So y'all remind me to come back to the initiative rework. And then my only concern, Rex Room says, my only concern is light armor doesn't feel customizable. With a 2-point system, the chart covers 3/4 of possible armor sources. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. And I see that, and I'm honestly fine with that because I don't need light armor to be a wildly customizable thing. Just like heavy armor. I mean, I guess heavy armor is more customizable, but I don't need that to be a lot because the magic items, you're gonna have magic light armor, like that, like that's gonna be the fun stuff that you can start to do. I don't think the baseline armor system needs to be some very intricate big thing. I think that's what opens things up to things breaking, right? It's just clean and simple, right? Velios, with AD and PD, was there any other names in the work for passive defense? Passive feels like you just take it and don't try to dodge out of the way of fireball. Yeah, the names were huge. Oh my gosh. Point defense and target defense was one. There's so many different names that we went through, and it was honestly one of the biggest hangups I had of like, but I really love AD and PD. I really do. Also, as a side note there, people coming over from D&D, those of you who want to convert people from D&D to DC20, I think AD and PD is going to be easier because in Dungeons and Dragons, what's your defense called? AC. And in DC20, it's going to be AD. So AC goes to AD. Oh, okay. Oh, active defense. AD. Yeah, AD. So what's your AD? What's your AD? This is my AD. This is my AD. You see what I'm saying? Right. So yeah. And then Puffernami. Still confused what a dart trap that targets only one person, but it's hidden. Oh, traps are a save, right? So if a trap goes off, it's a save. If a trap goes off, it'd be an agility save. So that's how traps work. So if there's a trap and it's triggered and somebody steps on triggers, it explodes and people in the area of the effect make an agility save or you take damage. So traps, that's a trap thing. So hopefully that clears that up. Arkanji, anyway, can you turn off your notification sounds? Anyway, oh, honestly, that would be super annoying. Oh my gosh. I did not, because I mute myself. But if y'all do that to me, then y'all can't hear me. So that's a problem. I'm going to change that. Mute alert sounds on stream. I think that's going to make the stream overall better. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ark. First time super chatter, and you're so useful. Oh my gosh, thank you. Fred, late fee. I blame daylight savings. Keep up the hydration, coach. You're right. I haven't done any hydration. Thanks, Hydro. Zegard, super important question. How soon will this be implemented on Foundry? As that's where my London players are playing from. Yeah, so Foundry's done a great job of updating things as we do it. We have been very quick with the 0.9.5 update, but they're also up to date with 0.9. So I see it being a matter of weeks after we release it as they do, or they might be able to do it at the same time. Who knows? They're freaking crazy. Sir Nylock, I'm making a random item generator and it's very similar to what I have. I'm loving it. Yes, let's go. See, you have a weighted stat system, and now this is going to help your thing be even more accurate because it actually has a system, and now you see the system. Let's go. Double dub. Wait. Double dub. What? There we go. Reduction to PD or ED on light to add features. Advantage. Yeah. So that is possible. I could see that. Like you reduced it, but then I also thought about like, wait, how would armor reduce like you take more damage, you know, like you put on armor and maybe there could be one that reduce your active defense because you're slowed down or something, but it couldn't do passive defense. So that's possible, and that was something we ran around with, but maybe it comes back in later. But I see where you're going. Cameron, I think this one has a ton of potential. I can imagine magic armor that could be built by giving you extra points to spend. Cameron, yes, absolutely. Dungeon Master be like, you get another point. Or maybe they find a blacksmith. Guys, check this out. Easy Game Masters, you're welcome. Your players find a blacksmith, and then you're like, they can put one more point on your armor. Oh, what? Oh, cool. One more point on your shield. Oh, right? Sick. Absolutely sick. 100% agree, Cameron. Rex Room. With this system, it feels like light and heavy should be properties rather than categories. It feels like light feels redundant. Yeah, you know, there's two people on the team would 100% agree with you, Rex Room. I absolutely see what you're saying. We decided, I think it's a cleaner presentation for people to be like, I can use light shields. I look at the light shield category. I can use heavy shields. I look at the heavy shield category. So from a teacher, the teacher in me, honestly, is why it's presented in this way. I think this is cleaner to present to people. I think it's easier to understand. Is it repetitive? Yes, because literally, like, these words are the same. Like this whole thing, you know, is already here. But technically for shields, it's not as repetitive for shields, which kind of showcases why I do like this way better, to be able to do that. So heck yeah. And we hit the live stream goal. We're doing, oh my gosh, guys, we are doing a triple giveaway. At the end of, once I finish reading the super chats, we're doing a triple giveaway. We'll talk about it once I get there. But it was going to be a double giveaway already, but you guys hit the live stream goal, so we're doing a triple giveaway. And then will we get elemental ancestries for Genasi? Yes, that's going to come in a future expansion. What I think would help coach is if you understand how AD and PD / elemental primal arcane defense interacts or doesn't. I'm a little confused. What? I understand how AD elemental primal arcana defense. I don't know what elemental primal or arcana defense is, so I'm confused, Kyle. AD and PD is just single target or area of effect. It has nothing to do with damage types. Maybe that sentence clears things up, but you're confusing me, Kyle. Liam, will there be features or actions that let PCs change a PD attack to AD attack, like a reactive teleport? Yeah, I used Brutal Leap as an example to be able to like smash into the ground. It would change it from an active AD targeting to a PD passive area of effect targeting. Yeah. Black Flash. Idea Warlock subclass with a ghost that is his patron possessed PC. I think Shadow Morpher. Yeah. There's also, you'll love the Barbarian. There's a possessed Barbarian subclass. So stay tuned for that one too. But we're synced up there, Black Flash. Aravan, late fee, and you're doing amazing. Keep it up. Oh, thank you, Aravan. Aravan, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Just coming in and telling me you're doing it. Thank you, dude. Vipora Light, will 0.9 be in Foundry? I don't know if it will be there on that exact date. I'm gonna have to check with Bailey on that, but I think so, maybe. Which is props to them. Sean Van Beverholt, maybe Charisma should be renamed Will. You know what? That is on the docket. We saw somebody on the team literally yesterday was like wanting to change the name of Charisma, and if it did get changed, I could see it being changed to Will. I could see it, but then I think Will doesn't accomplish the charisma aspect that it's used for socially, so it's hard. It's a tough one. Nathaniel Amorim, let's go. First time super chat. What's your advice? Buy the game now or wait till the second Kickstarter? Sadly, I couldn't back the first one due to currency exchange issues. Keep it awesome work. Loving the changes. Shout out from Brazil. There you go. You know what? I think we've just done it. So this we're gonna do something a little bit special here. I know I just said we're gonna do a triple giveaway, but Nathaniel exactly triggered my trap card. Army of Bunnies, which might be a really weird transition right now. Army of Bunnies won the live stream last time. Army of Bunnies is a like platinum top tier legendary backer, has everything you possibly can have at DC20. Army of Bunnies is an awesome dude. We talked about it, and he said, I want to give it to somebody that has not been able to get DC20, whether it be for financial reasons, they haven't got it, they want to, but they just haven't got it. I want that, and I want to find somebody for that. And I was like, it's going to be hard to do that in a live stream, blah, blah, blah. Nathaniel, I didn't even say this. You win that giveaway, right? That of those 3 giveaways. So I'm sorry if that's like, I say 3 giveaways, but we're still doing 2 freaking giveaways, and then we hit the live stream goal, all this kind of stuff. But Nathaniel, you win. Nathaniel, you win Army of Bunnies. I hope I'm doing you justice, Army of Bunnies, for this. I think this is really cool. Nathaniel, you want DC20, but you wanted to wait, and you had the currency issues exchange. Get out of here. You're getting DC20. You're getting 0.8 right now. You'll be sent it tonight. You'll get 0.8. You'll get the 0.9 and all future updates to the full release of the game. You'll get the monster starter pack and you'll get all that digital stuff, buddy. So you're taken care of, Nathaniel. Army of Bunnies just freaking hooked you up, and I think you're a good candidate for that right there. So appreciate you, bro. Love you. So there you go. And it was a first time super chatter. So freaking awesome, dude. Isn't that awesome? Like you wanted to super chat to ask this question to be able to then, and you're talking about couldn't back it because of currency exchange, all this stuff. Get out of here, Nathaniel. We got you, bro. Let's go. That's awesome. So Nathaniel, to go on Discord, message a moderator, their names are in red, and we'll get you hooked up. So Joseph Coulter, will there be any direct damage effects that go through saves, not defense? Currently, no. Pete F, armor example, man in a dog-proof suit. Dog is not hurting him. Guy is not getting away. What? That's the craziest heavy armor example ever. What is happening? Titus, first time super chat. So pumped for the game. Love the armor and shields rework. Keep up the great work. Just want to get us closer to stream goal. Oh my gosh, Titus, with a first time super chat to get to the stream goal. And we did it. Look at you guys working on this together. And Titus doesn't even ask a question. He just freaking hypes me up and freaking gets it all together. Let's go. You guys are awesome. Seriously. The Young King. There was a mention of switching AD and PD when AD is actively avoiding damage and AoE, and PD is armor tanking a single hit. You're saying a mention of switching AD and PD where AD is actively avoiding an AoE and PD is tanking a single hit. Yeah, so that falls apart when you're thinking about like big slow enemies and like small quick enemies. I could go on a longer thing on that. We did think about that concept, and then it falls apart once you start applying it to like monsters, and then you start to see features, and it's not as intuitive. But I see exactly what you're saying, and I wish this wasn't in overtime or I would talk about it longer, but there we go. Damian Spence, I'm a bit confused about armor PDR only counting for the first 5 rolls. Feels bad to have a hit only when it's having a puppy. I'm going to make a note as well of PDR video. I have to make it because that topic comes up. If PDR wasn't bypassed, it'd be too strong. If PDR wasn't bypassed by 5, it would be the same as resistance. It would no longer need to be a part of the game. The reason why PDR is good is because it gets bypassed, and because it gets bypassed, it's weaker. And since it's weaker, I can give it out more frequently. I can give it out more freely, like in the armor. If we change PDR that it wasn't bypassable and it just always is on, I literally couldn't have it be on heavy armor. It would be too strong, straight up too strong. It'd be busted, right? So that's why I can't do that. So I have a longer thing on that, but you're not alone there, Damien, with that thought. But I think it's just going to take people time to understand its role in the game. And then Titus again, just want to get us over the goal. Can't wait to make my AC Valhalla Hidden Blade with the Concealed Dagger trait. Concealed Dagger is also getting a buff there, Titus, in 0.9.5. So you just wait there. It's going to get even better. Love the direction cited for 0.9. Thank you, Mecronomicon. Thank you, dude. That's awesome. See, it's just so cool that I'm like sharing all this stuff with you. I'm excited, and then you guys are super chatting just to say that you're excited too. Man, that's awesome. Simon, did daylight savings even happen? I missed the whole stream. We're in overtime right now. Let's go. Puffernomic, for a second it sounded like saves were kind of eliminated with this change. So I'd like to think that my question helps you. Yeah. Perfect. I definitely think that I saw that multiple times. People are talking about saves. I was like, why are people talking about saves? So I do think that helped people out. So props to you, dude. Jeremy Grimes, what is included in elemental defense? Off the top of my head, fire, lightning, cold, sonic, which is thunder damage from D&D. It's sonic now, and acid corrosive. Bang. I think that's all of them. I don't think I missed anything. There you go. That's elemental defense. Are there conditions that impact AD and PD differently, like slowed or weakened? Conditions? No, currently, nor was there before with AD and PD or PD and MD. But that type of stuff absolutely can be on like monsters, to where like a monster hits you and you're slowed down, reducing your AD, right? Or you get enfeebled and you're weaker, reducing your PD. You see the spell rework coming up. So I see you, Mario. And then first time super chat too. Thanks, dude. And then Mario Mosher, another first time super chatter. Thank you for the tribute. Thank you for the tribute for my friend who passed away last year. Been looking forward to finally launching my DC20 campaign. Keep up the good work. Oh, Matthew Mosher, dude. Tribute. Let's go. That's awesome, dude. If y'all didn't know, there was somebody who backed the Kickstarter, but then they passed away. Like they backed the Kickstarter and they passed away before it was, a matter of, I think, even weeks or so after the Kickstarter was over. And then we passed it forward as well. So, man, what a freaking heartfelt note right there to end the stream on. That's crazy, dude. My heart goes out to you, man, for real. Logan, talking expansion, will we get a Grimdark one? Yeah, there's absolutely going to be a gritty ones, even just in the advanced gameplay guide. It's going to have some gritty rules in there. As far as campaign settings, that's going to be a longer thing for a Grimdark campaign setting, but rules will absolutely have some gritty rules in the advanced gameplay guide. David, Castle Siege, enemy climbing a ladder and defender dropping rocks, AD or PD. That's cool. So if an enemy's like throwing a boulder at an area, right, I would say that's PD, right? But if you're climbing up the ladder and it's just you on the ladder and they're throwing it at you, I'd say that's AD. If you can like dodge on the ladder, like move out of the way. But if there's no chance for you to move out of the way because it's so freaking huge and it's just coming down at you, that's PD. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a game master choice of how big's the boulder. Is it dodgeable? Right? You're dropping the thing, right? And then Path of Most Resistance, you are so darn human. Oh, my human lungs are right. I appreciate you, dude. It is this journey has been crazy, but I have done lots of things to try and stay the same. I don't want the way we make the game to change. I don't want to turn into a conglomerate or a corporation or whatever you call it. I want to stay real. I want to stay grounded and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that, bud. Appreciate that for real. That means a lot to me. Joe, heavy armor, you got you slow. Spend more action points. Hey, heavy armor slowing you down? Spend more action points. Haste spell. Cast the haste spell on your slow tank. Get him to the front lines faster. Let's go. Honey Badger, first time super chat. I'm glad I found DC20 when I did. Oh, by the way, everybody say something in the chat. Say something in the chat. We're going to do 2 giveaways. We're doing 2 giveaways right after I read these super chats, and you have to have said something in the last 5 minutes. So if you've said something in the last 5 minutes, you don't have to say anything. If not, say something or a number or an emoji or a purple emoji. Maybe Nightbot knows I like purple. I don't know. Honey Badger, I'm glad I found DC20 when I did. I was just getting into the other game and found DC20 to be easier to understand and learn. This community has been amazing and supportive. Let's go. That's a win for you guys. You know what I'm saying? We have another DC20 member of the community. It's a props in showing you guys that y'all's like love and support and like all of that. I am very specific on Discord about how like if there's any sort of like hate or any sort of bad vibes or anything like nope. And we have such a great community. Y'all do that with each other. Y'all are nice to each other. We don't even have. It's so awesome. Like the DC20 community is so awesome, so strong, so supportive. Amazing. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And then Jeremy Grimes, where do Radiant, Umbral, and Psychic damage fit? So Radiant, Umbral, and Psychic damage are mystical damage types. Done. Super simple. Like they're just damage types. So because we don't glue defenses and damage types together anymore, they can breathe. They can do their thing. The Scion doesn't have to gain bonuses to, like the Scion, also for the record, think how dumb this is. The Scion had bonuses to MD, right? The Scion had a bonus to MD, which protected against, the bonus to MD protected against radiant damage. Why on earth is a Scion more resistant to radiant damage? Sonic damage? Why on earth is a Scion umbral damage? Why is a Scion more resistant to umbral? You know what I'm saying? So because we've separated these entirely, we're able to actually target Radiant, Umbral, Psychic in really cool ways. And if I didn't catch it earlier, Sonic can now move over to Elemental and it not break the game because Mystical Defense already was struggling with its 4 in there. Right now, Sonic can go be Elemental like it always really probably should have been. So there's that. So lots of really cool fixes there. So all right. Let's freaking do this. We have 506 people here. Let's see who wins. First winner is going to be the one we always do. A DC20 giveaway. DC20 giveaway. If you don't have it already, you got it. And if you do have it already, I add on extra bonus stuff, early access stuff, sneak peek stuff, or I throw, if you back the Kickstarter, I add in dice, extra books, extra stuff or other, right? We'll figure it out, whatever it is you're wanting. So here we go. So exclamation point, winner. Now, if y'all could not talk as much now, that would be nice because the chat's flying by so fast. I got to be able to see the winner. I feel like I'm like, uh-oh, is Nightbot not here? Dear God, no. Please tell me Nightbot is here. Nightbot? Oh, no, Nightbot? Nightbot isn't here? Oh, Nightbot. No bot? Oh, no. Rip Nightbot. That's wild. He died. He's drunk. Oh, no. Nightbot? Oh my gosh, Nightbot. No. That's crazy. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. All right, here's what we're going to do. We've never had this happen before, so I'm going to we're gonna do this. Hold up. We're gonna see how this works. All right, we're gonna do this right here. If I click on the person, does it do anything? Oh. Oh, what is happening? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do this. I think that's what it's going to do. Do this. All right. Here's how we're going to do this. This is going to be so strange, but here we go. So here's the chat. Y'all are just going to talk. I'm going to randomly at some point scroll up, and wherever my mouse is landing on is who's going to win. Right? See how the chat's not going? So if I get all the way caught up, see how chat's rolling? I'm going to do this. I'm going to scroll I'm not doing it right now. I'm going to scroll my mouse wheel. I'm going to move my mouse. And that would be the winner, right? That's going to be how we do this thing. So just start chatting, guys. I'm sorry that Nightbot's drunk, but I feel like this is the fairest way to do it. Who knows? I don't know. The first person's going to win a DC20 thing. Here we go. And go. Typing. Okay, I'm going to do this so you really have no idea. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Ja. Mantic says hype. Mantic wins the first one. Congrats to Mantic. Go to Discord. You've won the craziest. I feel like this is fair. No? Yeah, I feel like this is fair. Right? It's the people that are here, you know? So we're doing it again. Next one, Mantic. Go to Discord. Talk to a moderator. We'll talk to you in a second, Mantic. Next one is a Die Hard Dice, which is actually, what's funny, I'll show you guys this in a second. Die Hard Dice gift card, $75 Die Hard Dice gift card. We hit the live stream goal, and we don't do that often, so that's a special night. So here we're going to do it again. Ready? Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Scroll up, wiggle the mouse. Casey Thiel. Casey Thiel. Casey Thiel. Let's go. Casey Thiel. Let's go. Pay it forward. I'm good. Mantic says, pay it forward. I'm good. Oh my gosh, Mantic. We're doing it again. We're running it back. We're running it back from Mantic. Right? We're running it back from Mantic. We're running it back from Mantic. Mantic, you're awesome. If you want a copy of DC20, you don't have it already, message my moderators, we'll still send you one. Like that's just legit of you to even do that. If you don't already have DC20, if you already have DC20, rock props. If you want a copy of a DC20 magazine, let me know. Talk to moderator. I want to give you something. All right, we're doing it again. 3, 2, 1. Travis Actual actually won. Travis actually won. There we go. Let's go. Crazy. Wild and crazy night, people. Let's go. There's the stream, y'all. That's crazy. Wow. Congrats to everybody. If you won, including Mantic, who gave away his winning, and I still want to give you something because you're freaking awesome. Go to Discord, talk to a moderator whose name's in red. They'll get you hooked up, set up, and good to go. Crazy stream, big stream, lots of stuff happening. We hit over 500 people. Armor, defense, shields, craziness. Woot woot is right, Leanna. I see you. Oh, pay it forward. Everybody pay it forward. Everybody, next time you're passing by a person and you want to say something nice to somebody, find somebody saying something nice to. I sometimes do that. I'll be like in the line of a coffee shop or something, and they'll be like, freaking, I love your shoes. So, pay it forward. That's what I also think about paying it forward. Maybe freaking spread the good vibes, because this community is so freaking awesome. Love you guys. Stay creative. Thanks for the box. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Let's go.